Tonight, you just basically said you kept laptops after the county asked you to return them. And you said that may be stealing. That didn't bother you? It doesn't bother you to steal public resources?
This is Susan Bassi, and this is a video about government attorneys and private attorneys. This is the district attorney in Santa Clara County, Jeff Rosen, and he, like other district attorneys, are responsible for prosecuting bad police officers who violate people's civil rights or engage in misconduct. He's also in charge of prosecuting attorneys who engage in misconduct or steal client funds. He's responsible for public corruption cases and white-collar crimes, child abuse, and sexual violence cases. But this is a video about why some cases end up in civil court without a related criminal case, because in many counties, district attorneys like Jeff Rosen prosecute cases for political reasons in order to keep their power rather than for public safety.
So what we're working on here today is an attorney that has been ducking service. So one of the first things we do when walking up to a house like this is we put the pleading in our back pocket under the shirt. So we come up unassuming and all they see is a badge, a body cam, and a person. And I'm just looking for somebody. It's the easiest way to get them to come out, not knowing that I'm here to serve them papers.
Mark the process server is serving a lawsuit on a civil attorney. Lawsuits have to be personally served. They can't be mailed. They can't be delivered to an office staffer. They have to be personally served, just like subpoenas. And in this case, a lawsuit is being filed on a civil attorney who is being sued by their former client, a Jane Doe, who alleges that the attorney had been negligent, committed malpractice, and breached their contract. We also find that this attorney has a pattern of throwing certain cases and certain clients under the bus, meaning fixing the cases with the opposing counsel.
Okay, if you're listening in the video here, we have a lovely dog. Dogs are very informative to process servers. Usually when they're inside the house, if you keep knocking on the door, the dog will keep coming up and barking. And if you can look through the window, you'll see if the dog backs up and looks down the hall or looks up the stairs or whatever it is that they might do. Like right now, the dog is disappearing would tell me that someone might be home. And that leaves me the reason to stay longer, because if the dog goes away, they don't just do it on their own.
For over 5 hours, we watched Mark the process server try to serve an attorney with this civil lawsuit, because the lawsuit doesn't begin until the attorney is personally served, and this attorney in particular had been ducking service from other process servers for months, and so Mark had to be called in. If this were a criminal case and the attorney was being prosecuted, then either the sheriff's deputies would have served the lawsuit or an arrest warrant would have been issued. One of the reasons this attorney might have been ducking service is that shortly after the lawsuit was filed by his former Jane Doe client, he brought another lawsuit on behalf of a second Jane Doe with pretty serious allegations against a prominent and wealthy individual who resided in Los Gatos. And more often than not, we see that these serious cases have no corresponding criminal case, meaning the district attorney is not charging these individuals with crimes, leaving it entirely up to civil attorneys who can make a great deal of money in these cases, whether they win or lose.
So now, since we heard the dog stop barking, we're going to check to see if the dog was brought inside. It's very rare that a dog will just leave something that's annoying it just to go back and walk in the house. So I'm going to go to the gate here and see if our dog is still present. Hello, puppy. wonder if they have two dogs, because that dog is still where it was. So another thing we do in these instances, we wait for it to get a little darker to see if there are any lights in the house. We look for the target vehicle, the person we're looking for, if their vehicle is home.
For anyone who's ever been served with a lawsuit or even involved in a divorce case where there have been a number of ex partes served on you with no notice, disrupting your day and embarrassing you in front of your neighbors, you certainly know what this must look like, which is why it was interesting that this attorney kept ducking service and subjecting his neighbors and his family members to the service of this lawsuit.
Now, if I were coming to serve somebody at this house with a half-open garage door, I can look inside to see if somebody's there. I can call and make like I'm a neighbor. Hey, something with your car. They come out, they're served. So this is obviously something that makes my job a little easier from time to time.
To the average person on the street, it might seem a little bit odd to have somebody lurking around looking in your backyard, worrying about what your dogs are doing, or looking under your garage door. But that's the job of a process server, and they are afforded more latitude than the average person. And this is what attorneys use every single day when they're serving lawsuits.
And we can't see anything.
But you know 2 cars are in the garage.
Right. And so if I'm looking for someone from the family, 2 cars being there means they're home. One's not missing. And again, with cars, we always look on the ground to see if there's like an oil spot or a dark mark that the car makes where it parks. Because this will tell us if there's something missing that should normally be there to tell us that they're home.
In addition to going to people's homes and offices, a process server can go to their family members, their places where they go to participate in recreational activities, or their vacation homes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I can't help you.
All right, I heard him say fuck him.
Well,
No worries, it's my job.
yeah. Well,
All right.
you're used to it then.
Yeah, hey, even if I got to go down to Truckee, I'll get him there. All right, man, thank you.
Okay.
And as night fell, our process server made one more attempt in the dark to get the attorney to come to the door and accept the lawsuit.
That's the dogs, huh?
Uh-huh. Yep, both of them. Hello, puppies. Hello. Where's your daddy? Hello?
Remember what he told his dad? F off and don't open the door. There's a light on up there.
Fred Gerbino, you have been served.
Technically, Fred Gerbino had not been served because we couldn't tell if it was he or his wife who had turned on the light upstairs, and so the process server put the court documents in the mailbox, and we waited. We waited to see who would get the documents out of the mailbox. And as we did, Fred Gerbino called the police. And when he did, he told them that he believed that there was a process server outside his door. And as a lawyer, he had to know that that was a legal process and not a reason to call the police. And he added that his wife was scared because the process server had been shouting his name. Fred Gerbino's wife probably wouldn't have been scared if Fred Gerbino had just opened the door and accepted service of the lawsuit.
I already
you
turned the
served
light. Yeah, I was leaving. I saw you guys pull up, and
Oh, got it.
I don't evade.
Okay.
So I come up and address
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we got it on video and stuff.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I get your name and badge number? We're just
For what?
documenting.
Since you come out to this call, so if he tries to say he wasn't here tonight and he wasn't served.
We're going to get the call for service. He's an attorney. He was getting served with a lawsuit for malpractice, and he called the police. And so we're
Yeah, I've been at this
documenting
since
that.
about 5 o'clock this afternoon, trying to find him, gone to various addresses, and it was just at his dad's. His dad told him, "Fuck him, don't open the door."
Oh,
and we thought he was safe here, so I came back.
okay. It's Rasul S120.
I'm sorry?
Rasul S120.
Hi,
Do you have a
nice
card?
to meet
I'm
you.
sorry.
It's right in my eye.
Sorry.
Do you have a card at all?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
And your name, officer?
Anderson, and it's S118.
Thank you very much.
Your card too, please. Thank you, sir. You want my card?
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I have a suspicion because the light came on and the dogs went upstairs. Dogs tell you always when people are home.
Yeah.
And I was coming back to go get the papers and knock on the door till he called you guys.
Got it.
And all of a sudden, we come up, the papers are gone, and you guys are pulling up the street.
Okay.
So I just came, but here's my card.
Thank you. We got dispatched a possible process server here at the house.
so he said a possible process server on the dispatch call? So he knew it was a process server. He's an attorney and he still called the police.
He had suspicion it was a process server. He wasn't.
Well, he heard you calling his name.
But yeah, he was like.
Yeah, and I was
sort
just
of
at his dad's
staring
house. His dad lives about 12 minutes away from here. Fred Jr.
So what's the deal tonight? Like what happened?
Oh, I'm done. Saw him at the door. I've confirmed it no matter what.
In less than a month, 2 private attorneys from this area called the police on Mark the process server, who was lawfully doing his job. And we're going to continue to report on what it looks like when these attorneys steal money from clients and commit crimes. But we're also going to report on what happens when the district attorney steals from taxpayers or violates the civil rights of somebody, including an attorney who works in their own office.